The even bigger news, though, from this announcement was that we now have official announcements of Mitsurugi Wave 2. And this one is a highly anticipated one because Mitsurugi is already arguably very, very, very close to a top-tier Yu-Gi-Oh deck with just the first wave. It's arguably one of the most successful TCG exclusives in a long, long time. And the second wave here, I will say I have tried to avoid spoilers because I knew I couldn't really talk about it on stream, so I've tried to not get spoiled on these. So I'm going to be reacting to these almost blind. I've seen bits here and there, but like, let's go in it and look at it like in detail. We have got a new main deck monster. I'm gonna spare you with the Mitsurugi no thingy every time. Aramasa here, level 4 Dark Reptile. If this card is normal or special summoned, or if this card is tributed, you can add a Mitsurugi monster from your deck to your hand, except Aramasa. And then it has the same secondary effect. If another reptile would be destroyed, you contribute this card instead. That's a good start. That's a good start, I will say, because Mitsurugi, like, that's the one thing. If you want Mitsurugi to be good, what you want from this secondary wave is consistency. Consistency, because that's what Mitsurugi's missing. Mitsurugi is a ritual deck that consists of like multiple card combos that are already incredibly powerful, even without this support. All you need is more consistent ways to get there, and maybe more, just more starters, basically. More ways to open your 2 to 3 card combos. Even some of this is even 1 card combo worthy, I think. But yeah, that's what they want, right? They just want more engine pieces. They don't need better end board stuff. The Mitsurugi end board is already very layered and very strong. And this is exactly this, right? This is just another great normal summon that gives you some consistency because it helps you search whatever piece you're missing. This can search ritual, the ritual monsters if you're missing those. So very, very nice. Mitsurugi no Miko Wosu. Okay. Level 8 Dark Reptile, 2k, 2k. Special summon this card from your hand by tributing 1 other reptile monster from your hand and 1 monster your opponent controls. But you cannot special summon nor activate monster effects for the rest of this turn except reptiles. Ooh. Okay. This does not start a chain. This does not start a chain. And oh, that's like a side deck card, I think. I don't feel like you main deck. Let me read the rest of it. You can only special summon it once per turn this way. If this card's tributed, you can discard a card, and if you do, add this card back to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay. Yeah. This is a solid side deck card. I don't think you're gonna main deck this ever because it does literally nothing when you're going first. Whether you're gonna side deck this or not depends on the format, whether it's good or not, but this would have been a really good answer to something like a Ryziel Detonator. I don't know how relevant that's gonna be, because currently Ryziel is not super popular anymore, but like this outs a Detonator through Ryziel Cross. Maybe that's what they had in mind when they designed this card a while ago, right? Because you just like tribute one, and it's also an extender at the same time, because if you're most of your reptiles, if you tribute them, will get you a benefit, right? So it's a strong card if there's enough other Mitsurugi cards and if there's a use case for it in the format. Like it gets around Omni Negates, it gets around even some of the most powerful cards that are banned in the TCG. If the OCG eventually gets this gets around Appaloosa and all that stuff. That's a very powerful, it's basically a kaiju that summons itself on your side of the field, which is pretty good. Yeah, not a bad card at all. Also, so far, I'm noticing on this one as well, none of this has even gold littering, so none of this is ultra rare or higher. They're all common or super rare. We have a new ritual monster, which is Habakiri, level 8 Dark Reptile. You can ritual summon this card with Mitsurugi Ritual. Monsters your opponent controls lose 800 attack. You can reveal this card in your hand, special summon a Mitsurugi monster from your deck, then tribute a monster you control. Oh, that okay. You can reveal this card in your hand, special a Mitsurugi from your deck, then tribute a monster you control is insane. That's crazy. Because that's just that's whatever you want, right? That's just a +1. That's just a +1 and search whatever you want, right? Because with this one, you add a monster, but with the other one, the one from the previous set, you can get any spell, right? So this one is just a +1 to get any spell or monster. That's busted. You can only use this effect, okay, once per duel. All right, sure. That is definitely fair for this card, that you can't do this multiple times in a game. Still, I don't think that matters that much. I mean, of course, we all know in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! The first turn is the best, like the most important turn. So like, it's good that you can't do this for the entire game. It definitely hurts the deck's follow-up a little bit, but that's very, very strong. If this card is tributed, you can add a Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand. Then you can special summon this card. And it's that. Okay, so you reveal it in your hand. You basically tutor whatever you want. And then later on, you tribute it to get another ad. This card's perfect. This card is perfect. This is everything Mitsurugi could have asked for. This makes this one even more broken, because this makes it so this one basically bridges into everything. If you need a monster, this one searches a monster. If you need a spell, this one searches this one, and that one can get you to the spell. Nah, these cards are absurd. That's absurd. New ritual spell. Okay. This card can be used to ritual summon any reptile ritual monster from hand or graveyard. You must also tribute reptiles from hand or field whose total level equals or exceeds the level of the ritual monster. If Ame, Futsu, or Habakiri you control is tributed, while this card's in your grave, you can shuffle this card into the deck. Okay. This seems... Wait. Oh god, dude. I was about to say that's just a solid card, nothing too crazy. But it mentions all of the rituals. You can play pre-prep. You can pre-prep for this. Nah. Jesus. And you never run out of targets for pre-prep, right? You basically have to only run one because it always puts itself back into the deck. You always have a target for pre-prep. You can pre-prep for days. It also chain blocks the graveyard effects. Yeah, you tribute it and you go like chainlink 1 graveyard effect to search and summon back, and then chainlink 2 mirror to go to the back into the deck. Okay. Dude, and we're only 4 cards in. What is pre-prep? Pre-prep Yu-Gi-Oh! Hold up. Pre-preparation of rites is a generic ritual support card. I'll show you in a second, just for context. Let me just load the side. Oh, they changed the look of this page. Pre-prep is a spell card that says add a ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and then you can add a ritual monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand whose name is mentioned on the ritual spell. So this is a very good card, of course, because it searches 2 cards, but it only works if the ritual monster is mentioned on the ritual spell. That's why in a lot of ritual decks, you cannot play this card, because a lot of the ritual spells just don't mention the monsters anymore, right? So this is why it's such a big deal. Because, for example, the previous Mitsurugi ritual card, the original Mitsurugi ritual, just doesn't mention the Mitsurugi monsters by name. It just says ritual summon any Mitsurugi ritual or something, and that's not the same. They're not specifically mentioned on the card. And that's a big deal with this card. You can search any ritual monster you want plus a ritual spell with pre-prep now. That's massive for consistency. So the deck alone, already off of the first 4 cards, already gets a new normal summon that searches monsters, a broken ritual monster that's a consistency card, and the ability to play 3 pre-preps. Dude. And we're not done. Mitsurugi Magatama, quick play spell card. During the main phase, activate one of these effects. Tribute a reptile monster, then target a face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. Okay, plain and simple, I like it. Ritual summon 1 Mitsurugi ritual from your hand by tributing monsters you control whose total level equal or exceed this level. Okay, so this is the worst card we've read so far, besides the side deck only card. It's just a solid card. I don't think you're going to play more than 1 copy of this ever. Ritual summoning on your opponent turn is a good ability for this deck because the ultra rare from the previous set is like a Raigeki on the opponent's turn. So the thing is, the deck can already summon that out on the opponent's turn, no problem, right? Like I don't think you're gonna really need this card, but it's not bad. It's like it's cool because it's a generic out to like floodgates or any sort of situation. It dodges effect veiler and stuff if you're going second. Let's say you normal summon something and they imperm it. You're like, all right, tribute it, pop a card, get my search through. It's not bad. It might be a one-off because it's highly searchable as to be a part of your end board. I don't really see myself putting 3 of this in the deck, but we'll see. We'll see. Mitsurugi Sacred Boundary. Continuous spell card. Your opponent cannot target Mitsurugi rituals you control with effects of monsters that were specials from the extra deck. You can target 4 Mitsurugi cards in your grave, except Sacred Boundary, shovel them into the deck, then, if your opponent controls a monster, make them tribute a monster they control, their choice. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, this feels like the worst one so far, by far. This card has no purpose other than recycling, which don't think this deck is gonna need. So I don't feel like we should waste too much time talking about this card. The card is only useful for recycling purposes, and I don't think this deck is really gonna struggle with that. Sure. Mitsurugi Tempest, normal trap card. If you have a Mitsurugi ritual spell in your grave, tribute 3 monsters whose original names are Murakamo, Mitama, and Habakiri. Make your opponent banish exactly 8 cards from hand, extra deck, field, and or graveyard. You can only activate 1 Tempest per turn. This is a gimmick. You're not gonna play that. This is Giga Winmore. This is Giga Winmore. Yeah, this is a meme card. This is a meme card. Rollback target. But you can only... The thing about rollback is it doesn't even work the way you think it works, because you still have to fulfill the condition. Like, with rollback, it only makes you not have to pay the cost, but you still have to do you still have to fulfill the activation condition. So you can roll back this, but you still need a ritual spell in your grave. Anyways, you know, it's not relevant. You are not gonna play this card. The Mitsurugi setup is already very, very strong, and you don't need a gimmick like this one. They have an Omni Negate trap. They have this card now. They have the other quick play spell card. There's like so many cards you can access with this deck that make you win the game. Like your setup is already so solid that I don't think this is ever going to be an option. And also, even then, like your opponent just banishing 8 cards from their extra deck is sometimes not even that big of a problem to them, depending on what their setup is. But yeah, you have to have all 3 of them. And yeah, no, it's gimmick. We don't have to spend time with it. Okay, the last 2 were kind of stinkers. The Tempest and the Boundary, not really playable, I don't think. The first 5 though, this is a crazy wave, dude. This is a crazy secondary wave. I mean, okay, this one is side deck only, I think, if even, but it's not a bad option, to be honest, depending on the format. I could see people playing this card in the side deck. It's kind of crazy. that like you make your board, they start their turn, distribute one of your things, and get going. This card's insane, absurd. This card is very solid. This card has crazy implications because of pre-preparation. And this card's decent. But overall, this basically, this wave does exactly what I said earlier, right? Nothing here contributes to a much crazier end board, right? Like there's not much here that like, oh, now you have like 15 Omni Negates or something. But the deck didn't need that. The deck needed consistency. Consistency card, that's also crazy. This lets you play pre-prep, so that's basically a consistency card. This is a dream for Mitsurugi, basically. This is like 9 more broken starters to the deck now. So you just like get there every time now. I feel like the only weakness that's left for this deck is like Droll and Lockbird, because Dweller is gone. Yeah, no, this is gonna be a force to be reckoned with going into national season for sure. Mitsurugi is gonna shake up things significantly. I'm pretty certain about it. Like these are very strong cards.